What's shaking, everybody? My name is Ross Mandell. I'm coming to you guys live today from sunny Delray Beach, Florida. I'm at Scott Woolley Studios, and this is an exciting podcast today. We're going to meet Will Nazarkewich, the financial wolf. Good-looking boy. Looks like he's about 12 years old, and from somewhere in Wisconsin. And he has built a small empire teaching people the art of the side hustle. Well, all his friends and family, etc., his generation was out trying to get followers on social media. Will was trying to create cash flow. I like to say that he basically created the side hustle, at least in my world. And any of you that follow me or in my school community, have bought my mastermind, you're in coaching with me, then you understand how important the side hustle is. If you're locked into some sort of fixed overhead, and some job with some sort of fixed salary or commission, etc. Will, welcome to the show today. I'm so psyched to meet you and get your story today. Really, I'm excited.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. I've been following you for a while, so I'm super excited to be on the show.
I really appreciate that. Let me ask you a question. You're very youthful looking, and you're a very handsome kid, the blue eyes, the blondish hair. How old a kid are you? How old are you today?
I'm 23 years old.
Get out of town. 23 years old.
Yes.
Stop it. 23. I've done that almost 3 times already.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I'm 68. 23. Oh, God bless you.
You've been around a long time.
God bless you, bro. Really, I would give everything, with the exception of my children, to be even close to 23. I mean, I was a young beast. But listen, I love the idea of creating cash flow, the side hustle. I teach it, I preach it, and I'm so excited to jump in. I mean, you're a guy that has over 290,000 subscribers on YouTube. Is that true?
Yes.
I checked you. I've been watching some of your stuff this week. I got to say, you're killing it, bro.
Well, thank you.
You are
Appreciate
freaking killing it. You know, you by the time you're my age, you're going to be a billionaire. If you want to
I hope so.
If you want
Yes.
it, I'm guessing that you have an appetite for these kind of things. And I'm 292,000 subscribers on YouTube. You on Spotify as well?
No.
Just YouTube.
Just YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I used to be on TikTok, but my page got banned for like stupid stuff, like old videos I made. But I'm on YouTube and Instagram right now. I just started on Facebook. I've been posting on there, but
very
YouTube
important.
Is like
Facebook for you. You can create really these communities. I'm about to start doing that myself. I just love everything you're talking about. We're going to get into this. You making money from YouTube? Are they paying you?
Yeah, definitely.
Decent money?
Yeah, honestly, YouTube is like one of my main incomes, like for the last few years. Like I've been making like around 10 grand a month off YouTube.
That's so great. I got my second wire from them yesterday, $118.
That's sweet.
And 43 cents.
Is that for AdSense?
I guess, yeah. They just check the box.
Yeah.
You want to make money, check the box. Yeah. I'm just building. So I'm not really looking at it as a source of income really yet. But of course, I want to get to your level and then some. And so, and I said to my team, I said, so am I going to be on his podcast, or is he going to be on my podcast? And they said, he doesn't have a podcast. I said, well, I don't understand. What does he do on YouTube? And they said, watch the channel. Watch the channel. I was confused. Remember, I'm an old cat, bro. We didn't have any of these things. So I want to just dial the clock back. We don't have to go too far back. 23. It'll take about 3 minutes to dial the clock back. And I'm playing because you're so successful and you're so young, bro.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. Any of you followers out there have young daughters? I mean, this is the guy. He's from solid, good stock, the middle of Wisconsin. I mean, beer and cheese. That's what they do. I used to have a girlfriend in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin.
Oh, that's literally like 30 minutes from where I live.
Really?
I'm in Milwaukee. So yeah, that's like right. My mom actually works there at the Children's Hospital in Wauwatosa. So
really? Barbara Thompson, if you're listening to this somewhere, I loved you. You're a beautiful woman. She was spectacular. I met her in the late 80s, maybe 1990. I flew to Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, and I made the mistake of going there in the winter. And holy cow, is it cold!
Oh yeah.
I don't even think I was colder than Canada. I think when I was there, it was like in a February, and it was like I said, "Babe, you got to come to Manhattan. It's enough already." I went once. I was there like 4 days, and I don't think we left the house. It was so cold, the wind. So tell us about early life. I guess you were born. You're from Wisconsin. Nice
Yeah.
family. You're a single mom. We two parents. I mean, tell us about growing up in early life.
Yeah, so my parents, my dad's actually from Miami of all places. My mom is from Germany. So my dad was an exchange student in Germany, and then he
Cool.
met my mom. They had two kids, and then they moved back to the US because housing prices in Germany are like really high. It's like $1 million to buy a house. So they moved here because my dad's like obviously American. So they moved to Wisconsin, and they had me. I was born in Burlington, Wisconsin, which is like 45 minutes from where I live now. And growing up, just a normal two-parent household. And I got really into making money probably around like 14 or 15 is when like my like current life started because I always wanted to be rich. And I was like trying to figure out like how can I make a lot of money? I saw movies like Wolf of Wall Street, a lot of stock broker type of movies.
That's it.
And I wanted to get rich. So I started like asking my dad about like he had a 401k stocks and stuff. So I was interested in that, and I started like I got him to open me like a brokerage account
Yep. Yep.
under him, and I started like making a little bit of money from like reffing soccer games and reselling phones, and I made videos about like my process like while I was in high school, like making money from these side hustles and like selling candy at school. And it took like the first few years on YouTube, I didn't really get too many viewers or subscribers. And from like when I was 15 to 17, I was posting like every week, like making money from side hustles. And I had a viral video when I was like 17, like when I was a junior in high school, where it got like 1 million views. And I went from making like $100 a month in AdSense to like 3 grand a month the next month on YouTube. And that's when I was like, okay, I got to really start grinding out these videos. And that
Yeah.
was like the start of like my current like channel and everything.
People don't realize it's a real business. I mean, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really like you can make real money. By the way, what'd you say you were making 10 grand a month, roughly?
Yeah,
I'm
roughly, yes.
23 years old. No, bro, 6 figures. I mean, I was making 6 figures, but I was working like an animal, schlepping suitcases all around the country, and then eventually found Wall Street. Selling ladies' handbags when I first graduated from college and all that kind of thing. Did you ever go to college or no?
I went to one semester of college. So like by the time I graduated high school, I was already making like pretty good money off YouTube. But like my
I
parents
love it.
really wanted me to go to college, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I took two classes, and honestly, I didn't really
At what
show
school?
up
What
too
school?
often. I went to UW Madison in Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay, okay, very
Yeah.
respectable. But I mean, the truth is, I hate to say it, the education system in this country has been broken for a long time. They what you figured out on your own. By the time people get out of school, law school, and become doctors, guys that you grew up with, your class, you'll be a multimillionaire already. They'll be catering to you, bro, and that's because you have the right attitude and the right mindset. Because that's half the battle right there. You got to have the mindset. You can have the education, but if you don't have that drive, that ambition, that hunger, that thirst, it's not going to happen. And there's nothing wrong with being, middle class. It's nothing. Not everybody has to be rich. Not everybody wants to, have the finest cars, and live in the best houses in the greatest neighborhoods, and have VIP medical, and young guys, the hottest girls, and go to the most exotic places on the planet. It's not for everybody. Some people like mediocrity. That's just not me.
Yeah.
From the rip, I wasn't as smart as you because I was just too wide. We didn't have computers. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have Google. You saw an opportunity with social media, right? Talk about
Mhm.
this. Like, how old were you when you really started? I mean, since you're born, though, we've had cell phones. We've had all these things, sort of, right? Since you can remember.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I was like maybe 12 or 13, I started like watching YouTubers and I saw them like buying like brand new cars, like luxury stuff. And I was like, dang, how are they making all this money? Like they're just making like YouTube vlogs. And it kind of made me realize I was talking to my dad. I'm like, oh gosh, like these YouTubers are making like $20,000 a month. And he's like, oh, that's cool. Why don't you do that? And I was like, honestly, I should start making videos. So at first, like I had a channel like in grade school, like just like random like
What is
vlog
grade
kid
school now?
stuff.
Grade school is what? Like,
Is like seventh grade, seventh and eighth grade. I was
okay,
like already
okay.
making videos like with my friends.
So you
I
always had
made
a
like
cell phone? You always had a phone with a camera?
yeah, I got a phone with a camera probably when I was in like sixth grade.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
My kids
So that's
too.
when I like got started making videos. I didn't have like too much success on my first channel. And then when I started doing like the finance stuff, talking about like a more specific interest, that's when I like was really more consistent with it and started seeing a bit more success. So
Tell
like
us,
by the time I was in high school.
tell us about your first viral video. I'm interested to hear this.
So yeah, I mean, I was doing YouTube for like 2 years before I got like any videos to really pick up, but I dropped this video where I was like, okay, I'm gonna film myself going to school, like a vlog every day for a whole week where I go to school with a bunch of candy and film myself selling it. And I would get like a kid in the lunchroom to like follow me with the phone and like record me selling to the students, and I'd pay them in candy. So yeah, I would just do like a vlog of like how much I sold every day. And that video, I remember like the first like month I dropped it, it got like 10,000 views, which at the time I had like 2,000 subscribers on my channel. So like that was really good. And the next month, I remember that video got to like 200,000. So it, like absolutely exploded.
Just
And
selling candy in school?
literally a video of me vlogging, selling candy, making like $300 in sales in a week. And people were just like, oh, that's a really good side hustle because a lot of kids are at school anyway. They want to make a couple hundred extra bucks and it's a good way to make money. So yeah, the video did really well. It's a topic that still does good on YouTube. And after that, I just like did more videos and it kind of like continued doing really well. And my school actually got really angry about the video because
I
they
can
didn't like that
imagine.
I was like recording at the school
Right.
and they were like trying to like stop me from doing it. And I kept like making vlogs at school, like selling different stuff because I saw that it was getting views. I didn't really care.
I get it.
And then they had like a meeting, I remember, with like my parents and like the principal, and they were like, you can't like record at school anymore. And like it got to a point where I had to like put my phone in the office at the beginning of the day in like my junior year of high school. But
Wow.
funny enough, like a couple months later, like COVID happened. So then like the school was like closed, which was when I really got a chance to like go full into like YouTube videos.
It's such a great story. So when you go viral, believe me, the people that run the school, just the school council, the regional community, they were getting hit
Yeah.
up, and they say, "Are you aware of what's going on at one of your schools, one of your students? All these friggin', mindless, mediocre type people." And we've got a kid there reports that a kid is filming into school and other students, and have they signed waivers? And there's a million different, it
Yeah.
became a crisis, I'm sure.
Yeah, I remember they were telling me like I can't sell at the school anymore, and then I would go to like the other schools like during their football or like sporting
That's
events,
so
and I would sell candy for like cheaper than the concession stand, and I would show me like making money. And dude, those videos those did good because like the teachers would get mad, and like that was just good content at the time.
And so like
Yeah.
so you're filming videos right off your iPhone or your Android, right? You have an iPhone, or which
Yep.
one do you use?
It was an iPhone. Yeah, I had
Okay.
like I got 20,000 subscribers before I got like a camera or any type of setup.
So you just use your phone, right?
Yep.
And then you would just upload it straight to YouTube.
Yeah, I would edit it on the computer, just like on back then I used iMovie on like a Mac, and I would just edit it up and then
Right.
post it.
And
Yeah,
and just so how long were the videos generally?
probably like 10 to 15 minutes.
Right. So not long form. You weren't racking up a lot of hours.
No.
I notice on YouTube they value hours, they value, they analyze everything,
Hmm.
right? But at some point you became a YouTube partner. They said
Yep.
they said congratulations.
Yes.
You're a YouTube partner. You've got 500 subscribers. You've got 3,000 hours. And then all of a sudden you see the algorithm start working for you, right? It's not. That's
Hmm.
what happened to me.
Yes. And it's funny. I feel like YouTube doesn't really, it seems like they don't push you as much until you're monetized almost. Cause I did videos for like a year and a half and I wasn't monetized and I was getting like, 300 views every video. And then when I got monetized, I remember the first month, it was like I got monetized at the end of the month. It was like $8. The next month I made $113.
Right.
The next month was like 280. And the next month was like 2,800. Like it's just kind of started exploding after I got monetized.
Yeah. I noticed I noticed the same thing happening to me. All of a sudden, I'm getting new subscribers pretty much every day.
Yes.
2, 3, but I know I see how the algorithm gets to know you, gets to know your audience. Every young kid in school is your potential audience, really. Right?
Yeah.
Because you have you have a very specific lane. I went to prison, and everybody's fascinated with true crime. We talked about the Matt Cox interview of 5 hours and 11 minutes, 5 hours, 13, 55,000 views, and then Matt cut it up a little bit, and it helped me get to, helped me get really to 100,000 followers on Instagram. I mean, but the thing is that my team said, listen, you're so much more than a true crime guy. We want you to talk about business, and we want you to talk about the stock market and finance and about life. And I said, yeah, but it makes it more complicated for the algorithm, because once you have this one specific, sort of line item, one pillar, it's easy. It just says, true crime. Everybody that's interested in true crime, prison, all that stuff. Boom. And next thing you know, guys on my team blew right past me in subscribers because I'm doing general stuff, just sort of different things rather than just take advantage of the pillar of prison. And now the algorithm is telling me, listen, you're a real authority on business and finance. So now I told my team we're making that pivot to focus a little more on business and finance. And guess whose name came up? William Nazarkewich.
Oh, sweet. Big
Will Witch. The man, the myth, the legend, 23 years old. That's crazy, bro. I mean, I think you're my youngest interview so far, and it gets me excited. I have a daughter at 22. I have a daughter at 25. But yet you chose to do this. And a lot of kids that started early posting on social media, some of them are making millions, tens of millions. Am I right?
I've met some of them, yeah.
Think about Mr. Beast. Just became a billionaire.
Yes.
Right? Doing what you do, except a little zanier and crazy, right?
Yeah. Mr. Beast was definitely a big inspiration, like in the early days. I remember when he was like, even seeing him level up the last 5 years, he went from just like a, good quality YouTuber to like an actual, like, he's literally like running a production company, like a huge TV business now. Like
he's a real network. He's a network.
Fast he leveled up. Yeah.
He's actually one of the biggest networks in the world, based on my analysis. I mean, he has a couple of 100 million subscribers. Who gets that kind of, it's like the only time we get that kind of thing, and for TV, it's like the Super Bowl. There's not one network on television that gets this kind of action a guy like Mr. Beast gets. It's crazy. And think about like, Jake and Logan Paul, Andrew and Tristan Tate. Think about how crazy. These guys are worth hundreds of millions. That's where you want to be, right?
Yes, that's the goal. I want to get to, for now, like my goal, honestly, I want to get to a point where like I get like 100,000 views per video. Like I always try to set like a goal for YouTube, and that's what I'm trying to get to now. Yeah.
What's your average right now, if you had to give me an average?
Probably about 20 to 40,000.
It's very comfortable though. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's enough money to, you still live at home, or did you get your own place?
I have my own place. I bought a house in 2023.
Wow. Yes. Tell us about it.
So I bought a house in Milwaukee for $230K, and I rent out like a room to a friend. He lives upstairs for $750. My mortgage is $1,900, so I'm paying like $1,150 a month.
Right.
And I, kind of like house hacking to reduce the payment a bit. And so like eventually I want to move out of this place and then buy another one and have like a rental property. And I also do like Turo cars, which is like where you rent out vehicles. and I make videos about that too.
So you buy the vehicles and then you rent them out. Is that it?
Hmm.
How many vehicles have you acquired so far?
I have 4 Turo cars right now.
These are real cars. What
Yes.
type of cars?
So I have a 2019 Subaru Outback that I rent out. I have a 2025 Volkswagen Jetta, a 2024 Nissan Sentra, and then a 2013 Volkswagen Passat.
Okay, now do you
Yeah.
own those cars outright for cash, or did you?
Uh, I have 3 of them that are owned outright. The only financed one is the Jetta, the 2025 Jetta, which is the newest one.
Okay, and then how do you
Yes.
make money? Tell us about Turo. I just want people that
Yes.
a lot of people that follow me might not know these things because we're a
Yes.
little bit older.
So it's basically like Airbnb for cars. So
Right.
like how you can, rent a house on Airbnb, you can rent out cars, but I charge about like $50 a day for each car. So in a month, usually all 4 cars will make about $4,000 in revenue. After expenses, like I have a $500 payment on the Jetta. I have insurance, which is $400 a month for
Yep.
the cars. Things like that. It's probably about $1,500 of expenses, so about $2,500 a month in cash flow on the vehicles.
That pays your rent for sure, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Utilities. I bet
Yeah.
you that house you paid. You said you paid 240.
230, and according to the tax assessment, it's worth 260. So I've made a little bit of money
I'm
the last
guessing it's
couple
probably
years.
worth more right now.
Yeah.
If you because it's probably worth 400 if they're telling you 260, 350 maybe. You have to look
Yeah.
at the last sales in the neighborhood. You
Hmm.
just check that out. You can still go to the bank now and refinance the house, pull money out, and use it for another hustle and to
Hmm.
amp that up. As long as you're taking in more than you're paying out, keep your money working for you. I
Yeah.
think that we're in the middle of one of the greatest bull markets in the history of recorded mankind. We got a guy in the White House that's very sensitive to the stock market. And pretty soon he's going to control the Fed as well. He'll have his people in place, conservative supply side economists. And, you're going to see, I think, a really prolonged bull market. And in every bull market, you have pullbacks that are very healthy. And that's when you acquire stuff. I made a video the other day, buy the dip. Buy the dip. Now, I'm just starting out on social media. I want you to know I basically, I got out of prison in January of 2024.
Okay. Wow. Not that long ago.
So I really just started, and I had I had a viral video going. It's still going. I got over 3 million views, and I got over 34,000 followers off that one video.
Wow.
One video on Instagram, and it keeps going. It's pinned up, and it just keeps going. And that's the one I did myself. I did one where I collaborated when I did Brad Lee's podcast,
Hmm.
Dropping Bombs. This is literally a year ago. I had 9,000 followers on Instagram, and we have over 9 million views on that clip.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's been sort of my accelerant. Do you know what I mean? But I
Yes.
understand. You learn, right? You have to curate your followers, right? Do you do that?
I try. Yes.
Tell us how you do it. How do you manage your?
Well, you just have to think of what like your audience likes. If you have a viral video where you got a bunch of followers from a specific topic, they're clearly interested, so you want to curate to that audience. But the thing is, over time, like for example, like my audience, like when I first started posting, a lot of the OG people who followed me, they started, they aged up. So maybe nowadays they're not as interested in how to sell candy at school videos. They want to learn about, the next level of side hustles. So you kind of have to
Correct.
age up with your audience as well. So
Did you
that's
talk about
something I'm.
buying that house and renting out?
Yes.
Very, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I saw something where I think you were in Texas. You were driving around in a truck, and you were picking up scooters.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So this was funny, but I was trying to think of like another side hustle to do. And one day I lived in Austin for about a year. And when I was in Austin, I was downtown and I saw these guys. They had like a big truck and they were loading up a bunch of bird scooters in the back. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I've always wondered about this like side hustle. So I go up to them. I'm like, hey, could I make a video with you guys? Like I'm like a YouTuber. I'd be interested. And they're like, okay, sure. Come by tomorrow. The next day I get by. It turns out he makes $700 a day from this like side hustle. He's got like an operation.
$700 a day.
Yeah, he's
That's
got like,
real money. Some people would
yeah,
kill for that right now. I want you to know that. I know people that would
yeah.
kill for that.
Yeah, so it's like him and he's got like a buddy that they do it together. They've got like a small shed where they charge all these scooters at with like a bunch of outlets. And they basically just have a truck. They load up as many scooters as they can, bring them there, plug them in, and then they got to drop them back off. And they get paid per scooter that they charge and service. And at the time in Austin, it's pretty lucrative. I think nowadays some cities are kind of cracking down on the electric scooters because they're like all over the streets and everything.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a great side hustle. Yeah.
I think like, college towns,
Hmm.
like, Austin, you have University of Texas. You probably got kids that don't have money for cars and all that kind of stuff. They scoot around, right? They go from class to class, right? Why not, right? I
Yeah.
was shocked. I have to tell you, I'm an older guy. I was a stock market guy since I'm very young, your age, and I was making real money my whole life, real money. So I was cars, limos, drivers, and you know, then I was away for 10 years, and the prior 10 years I was fighting the United States government, so I really wasn't too observant. Uber was just formed. I was invited in as a founder of Uber. I
Really?
didn't do it. Yeah, I could shoot myself in the head. I had the
You
money.
hear a lot of people who had the opportunity to invest in Uber. Like you hear like about Gary Vee. He said that he could have made
Correct.
like hundreds of millions off of it. Like apparently it was brought to quite a few of the big like investor people, like venture
Correct. They came
capital.
to me, and I had a big meeting with them at it's a chain. It's I don't know, it's a coffee food chain. And it was in Boca. And I would go there to write my book because I had to get out of the house because I had kids and a lot of things going on. And I had a co-author with me. Ann Violet, what's up, baby? Annie. And a little shout out, right? And we would meet at this place. I can't think of the name right now. But I had a meeting there with some guys that were pitching Uber. And they wanted me to get in. I'm an investment guy. I was known for bringing companies public. I'm a noted guy in that arena. I mean, I was invited in, a lot of different deals over the years that many I did and did make a fortune. The ones I passed, some of them were like the most famous companies in the world, believe it or not, because you only have so much bandwidth, right?
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do. An investment of that requires, you're putting up 100 grand, 200 grand, 500 grand, whatever the numbers are. But if it hits, you make millions. I brought a lot of
Hmm.
companies public, and so I understand that game like nobody. And Uber made so much sense to me at the time. I'll never forget this, but I was so bogged down fighting the United States government and dealing with lawyers and this and that. It was consumed. So I was very distracted. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so take advantage of the time in your life. You're not married, correct?
No.
You engaged?
I'm not. No, I'm single.
You with a beautiful young woman? No?
I'm looking, but no.
You're dating.
No, yeah, I'm trying to, I gotta get on that.
So let me ask you a quick, how tall a guy are you?
I'm 5'9".
Me too,
Nice.
but I'm probably a little chubbier than you. How much do you weigh?
135.
135.
Yeah,
I
I
had
know.
that
It's
for lunch yesterday.
yeah.
135. Wow. So you look
Yep.
like a friggin' model on the screen. I'm just saying I'm
Oh,
like
thank
sort
you.
of proud of you, because I seen your name a lot, like on my stories. You see stories on Instagram, and your name is unforgettable. It says William Nazark. It's the longest name on the screen,
Yes.
and I was wondering who you were. I didn't know, and I would check you out. I check everybody out, right? Especially the blue checkmark people, and the financial wolf, the side hustle. I love that. I teach that, but you made a
Yeah.
business. You made a business out of it,
Yeah.
lifestyle, and then when my team brought up that you're gonna, the new emphasis, because all the algorithms are saying people want business, entrepreneurship, the stock market. You're Ross Mandell. You've been there, done it all. You've been recognized by this and that. So, they want to see that because they can, I guess, direct my content
Mhm.
to people like yourself that
Yeah.
are hungry, young, and looking for tips and looking for new ideas. And, everybody wants to understand the arena of business, finance, money. And the stock market is really the ultimate hustle. So, the ultimate side hustle, because if you can learn how to make money in the stock market, your life will be enriched in ways that you just can't even understand. And I'll explain what I mean, because it's great for you to understand. And it's like a privilege for me to meet a guy like you and chat like this. And it's on camera, it's even better. So you understand virality, right?
Yeah.
You had all of a sudden, you're selling candy, and all of a sudden you get 20,000 views. And you look at the screen and you're like, who the fuck are all these people? Like, what's happening? This is cool, right? It's like it's exciting. And then, especially when it's new, right? And then 200,000 views. Now the principal's calling you into his office. We could have a chat because now it just became real to the grown-ups. You know what I mean? The guy's in charge. I mean, this kid's moving the needle. I got a call. I got an email. We gotta see what's happening here, right? Because you're moving the needle. It's exciting, and virality. The idea is that you can record something, post it, and like maybe your friends, checking it out. But then, 6 friends might share it with 6 people. Now you have 36 people. And then they might share it with 10 people. And then the algorithm picks this up and it juices it, right? So that's virality, right? So we understand that. The virality, what I call the virality of eyeballs. I'm new at social media influencing. I only have 150,000 organic followers, but through all the platforms.
Good.
Yeah, and I'm like 100 years old, so it's amazing. I'm one of the oldest living influencers. I like to say that. Dan Pena's got me. He's like 76. Yeah, he did Bradley's dropping bombs yesterday. But to make a long story short, in the stock market, in August of 1983, I deposited $1,500 into my stock account. I went down to Wall Street. I learned how to trade. And I was now on the inside. I'm a licensed securities representative, and I have access to trading rooms and all these different things and information. And I would go out every night and hang out with guys like you that are basically on the trading desks of all the arbitrage, the mergers and acquisitions, the bond desks and all this and that, the legal department, you understand, the banking committee. And so I have access to everybody. We're all drinking. We're young. We're excited. We're in the financial world, right? And my $1,500 5 years later was $30 million.
Wow.
Do you understand? That's
5 years?
5 years. That was in the 80s. Now, I tell you like this, the opportunity today in the next 5 years is 10 times what I had. 10 times. 10 times. Because the rate of technology growth, it's accelerating it on, for 2,000 years, man didn't have electricity. All of a sudden we had electricity. A few minutes later we have cell phones, computers. We're flying to the moon. I mean, we got flying cars that we just haven't seen yet, but they exist. Robot cars. In another 2 years, Elon Musk is going to have Optimus on the market. It's $6,000 a robot. The robot's going to be in every business, every house, every park, every stadium, every arena in America. $6,000. You can have a few. Nothing. I'm just saying these robots don't get tired. They don't talk back. They don't need to take a nap. They don't get, afternoon weary and need, you know what I'm saying? They just go. They do whatever you tell them. And the household chores, they can dig up gardens and they can wash dishes and serve dinner, cook dinner. I mean, it's endless. And so the pace of technology growth is just accelerating in unheard of ways. And the stock market's eating that up. I'm going to be doing a video later today about that. Why the market will keep going up and up and up. Because now it can't be stopped. It can't be stopped. Back when I was broking in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, it was sort of finding its way. You know what I'm saying? We had the dot-com crash. Yep. Amazon went in 3 weeks from 330 to 3. Because, they were throwing shit against the wall to see what sticks. Today you got the big 7, you got Google, you got where are they going? NVIDIA, $4 trillion. Apple, I think, just became a $4 trillion company. If it hasn't yet today, it will be by the end of the week. $4 trillion. What? When I was coming up, there was one billionaire. One. Bill Gates. Wow. And this guy, Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart stores. I'm just saying that, today there's more billionaires than, it's like being a millionaire in my day. I mean, it's a crazy, crazy thing. And so the virality of social media made so much sense to me. You know, I get out of prison, I got a clean slate. Not arguing, I'm not fighting anybody, no legal. So just think about the virality of social media and the virality of the stock market. I'm trying to connect the two right now. That's what I'm building, Raw Media. And
that's sweet.
but so you, a guy like you, to understand virality, you understand that stock market. You don't need a million different winners. You need one or two winners, and you need to put your money down. Make 100 points, 200 points. The video went from 9 to 1,000. It split 10 for 1. It's on its way back to 1,000. I'm telling you that. I'm telling you this on camera.
Really? Yeah, I have NVIDIA stock. I have AMD.
Another great company, AMD. Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah, I try to invest in stocks and stuff too.
Look at IonQ. It's about to go.
Okay.
IonQ. You know how AI is the predominant story today, right?
Mm-hmm.
AI, right? AI. NVIDIA. Boom. Most valuable company in the world. Okay? Because you need that product to build that AI. You need that chip.
Yep. You need that chip. Yeah.
It was made only for gamers, really. Nobody cared about it. My cousin, who's in video games, he brought it to my attention. It was $9. The only people that needed it were the companies that were making video games. Who needed that? You know, they would buy what they need, a business. And all of a sudden, AI, now you need it. Everything they can produce the next 5 years already sold.
Yeah.
Quantum computing is the next great frontier. It's going to be bigger than electricity. It's going to change everything.
And what are your thoughts on Bitcoin?
Bitcoin is going to go. I made a video not too long. It's going to be 200,000 within 6 or 7 months. Ultimately,
that's awesome.
Ultimately, it'll go to $1 million. Ultimately,
yeah,
because it's got a limited supply.
Too. I did a video with someone. He has a few data centers, like in rural Iowa, where he gets like a plot of land and builds a facility with a bunch of Bitcoin miners and puts it inside. And he finds these spots with like really cheap electrical rates, like 5-6 cents a kilowatt.
Yep.
And he hosts people's machines. He has his own miners. And he's got like 5 or 6 facilities at this point in Iowa. And he's crushing
money.
Yes.
Literally printing money.
Literally,
Not exaggerating. But the thing is, it's limited because of the blockchain technology. Mm-hmm. Ethereum's going to be the one I think that rules the day. I'm telling everyone to buy every piece of Ethereum you can get. It's going to go for next stop is going to be 10,000. It's like when I saw gold at 1,800, I said it's going straight to 4,000. It did.
Yeah.
And now I'm shocked. It's going to go to 5 or 10,000 because the world's waking up. There's 8 billion people for the first time. That we're all connected.
Yeah.
Because of technology, satellites, Elon Musk, Starlink. You could find a hotspot in the Kalahari Desert and watch this podcast or watch your videos. Literally, the only thing we're separated by language. There's over 100 languages around the world. And Meta has informed me that game is over. My content is already being... Are you part of the translations?
Yes.
Beta.
Yeah.
So I'm in Hindi, Portuguese, and Spanish.
Yep.
I just started getting Brazilian followers that only speak Portuguese. It's crazy. So I'm in 4 languages right now. They said I'll be in 100 soon, in over 100 languages in 160 countries.
Imagine how much that'll expand your reach too.
How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing that a little bit too. I've got like the YouTube translations on.
Do you?
And I noticed. Yes, I do. I have that on my YouTube. I've got like Hindi, a couple different languages.
Right. Did they approach you with that, or did you approach them?
I think I saw it on my studio that you could add it. They didn't like hit me up or anything.
I should do that. I should do that then, right?
Yeah. I have more of the auto dubbing. Some people actually have like a full translator do it. So it depends what you want to do. Yeah.
Right. Because Meta does it for me. I just have they make the offer. They're like, dope. Do you want to make some money? Dope. Just check this box and we'll send you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find my way through this thing, and everybody comes at me and I don't trust anybody. Everybody wants to sell you followers, sell you. Have you ever done anything like that?
No, I've bought like YouTube courses in the past, like when I was like kind of like more starting out, and I bought from like other finance YouTubers because I was like, I want to learn from someone who's like in my niche crushing it. So I bought a course from someone who has like 1 million followers in the finance niche. His name was Andre Geek, and he did like a weekly coaching call, and it was actually really helpful. Like he had a whole course where he kind of went over like his strategy for YouTube, and I had a call with him. And honestly, I think courses can really be worth it if you like know what you want to get out of it. And that's what I did for YouTube. I never like paid like a service or anything. I've paid editors to like help edit stuff, but
Correct.
that's pretty much it in
Yeah,
terms
because
of
I think exactly what you're saying is very smart and clever. Everybody wants to like sell you followers, and I'm like, everybody that second you do that, the algorithm stops working for you.
Mhm.
You know, they'll tell you, "Oh no, it's organic." I'm like, "Yeah, organic, my ass." You
Yeah.
know, and then the next thing you know, the algorithm knows. You know, some of these services are so good. You look at a guy; he's got 500,000 followers, but if you really break it down, you'll see he has no engagement. He's got no, well, the same six
Mhm.
people like everything and go back and forth with with comments. But I noticed one thing. I've been told this by one of the founders of Meta. He was in the top 10 founders of Meta. He said, second you do that, the algorithm detects this behavior that's not
Yep.
right, let's just say, and it just stops working for you. And
Mhm.
so the key is like you're all organic, right? You just grew your channel.
Yep. Yes, all organically, just over time. And honestly, the best way, in my opinion, it's almost better to have 20,000 subscribers and get 30,000 views a video than to have 300,000 subscribers and get 30,000 views a video. In my opinion, views mean a lot more, like consistent people watching you than like having a lot of subscribers. It's cool to have like more views. And I think engagement might even help you, like high engagement percentage helps you get like bumped in the algorithm more almost.
I
So like I
agree.
don't even care about subs anymore.
Right, I get it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know a guy, and I met on this
Yeah.
podcast. Chris Norgal, Chris.
Yep.
He's a snowboarder. Really
Oh, nice.
a really trendy type guy. He was in the X Games and all those different things, and then he went into finance. He discovered the variety of the stock market, and he teaches a lot of that stuff. But he constantly like gets rid of subscribers if they don't engage. Like he curates his following.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I have another friend, Scott Clary. Scott, little shout out. He's got like 1,700,000 subscribers. He makes real money on YouTube. He creates real quality content. He's got a podcast. He's been doing it for like 6 years. He started in 2019, and high quality. Everything's very. He's got a whole team of people. You know what I mean? It's like a machine. And of course, he cuts clips and all that stuff. But he was one of the guys. You know, if you're doing this 5, 6 years, and you caught the COVID updraft, right?
Mhm.
I mean, people are home.
Yeah.
People are home. What are they going to do? So they're going to watch
Yeah.
videos, right?
Exactly.
And podcasting just blew up. And look at Mr. Beast, a billionaire, doing what you do, right? Cool
Yeah.
videos. Now you're still doing it pretty much every day. How does it work in your life? Well,
Yeah. I try to
now
post.
that you're a rich entrepreneur, you don't have to do this anymore.
No, I try to work every day, like on videos, and like a lot of times I'm working on like a side hustle, and I'm just like filming the process, and then I'll edit it after, or I'll go film someone else's business, and then I'll edit it. But I try to post like one like well edited video every week because it takes me a long time because I mostly edit a lot of my own stuff. That's one thing I've struggled with is like outsourcing stuff. Like when you have a business, like I still do like pretty much all the work myself. That's
Really?
something I'm trying to improve upon. Yes.
You don't have a crew in India or Pakistan,
No,
Fiverr guys or whatever?
I've tried to do stuff, but like I feel like sometimes they don't do it how I'd want it to be done. But if I kind of figure out a better system, which is something I'm working on, I'm trying to like, maybe do 2 videos a week instead of one because output is definitely super important. So
It is. You have to be
yeah.
consistent, but I understand that
Mhm.
you like things a certain way, and then
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
you have someone do it. You look at it and say, oh, "I would have done this and
Mhm.
that," and you
Yeah.
get a bad taste in your mouth. And it's one of the hardest things in business is to find quality people
Hmm.
to do a job the way you want it to be done, or as good as you can do it. That's the challenge in business. You're 23, and I'm going to explain that to you as you grow in business and life. You really want to scale if you can, but maintain that quality. you're at a place in business and in life where you're just starting to really learn some of these lessons. You go through, you learn a lesson by having an experience, right? You've had these experiences with people that could have made your life much simpler, right? If they were, did it the way you did. And when you hire them, they all claim, "Don't worry, I got it, bro." Everybody's telling you the great things, the great stories, and then you're like, "What is this? I would have." And sometimes, and clearly you're a sharp young man, and you had this vision, and were you surprised at your success?
I don't know. I was posting really I remember I remember my viral video that I posted was in like October of 2019, where like YouTube kind of started really being successful for me. Before that, like 2 months before, I was like, I really want to make YouTube work, and I made a goal in like the month before. I was like, I'm gonna post every single day the entire month. So I posted a video like every single day, like the entire month, like stayed super consistent. And I remember the next month after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna spend the same amount of time as I was doing daily posts, but I'm gonna do 2 videos a week. And like when I started focusing on quality, that's when like stuff started picking up. I feel like I kind of knew that like something was bound to happen, because I felt like I was getting to a point where I'm like, okay, my videos are really good. People are enjoying them. Like it's just bound to expand from here. Maybe I didn't expect to get like 1 million views on the video, but I definitely expected to see some type of growth, because I saw people, who started YouTube the same time as me all slowly start to get success. Because like when I started YouTube, I found like a group of people who were like all at the same like level of subscribers as me. Like I found people who had, 1,000 subs, 500, similar to me. And we'd have a weekly call and be like, okay, how are we going to like grow on YouTube? Do we have any strategies, any ideas? And like slowly every single one of those people I started that group with, like eventually turned YouTube into their full-time job. So it's just, when you're around people who are, all grinding, it definitely helps.
People don't know. So
Yeah.
So you've had content that's gotten over 1 million views.
Mm-hmm.
What's the biggest why you ever got from Google?
In 1 month,
1 month,
15K from
$15,000,
AdSense.
bro. You
But the
like?
most
Go
a
ahead.
single video's ever made is 30K. Is a single video. Yeah.
Say that again. You got 30K in views or no money?
Uh, so the most money I've ever made from one video is 30,000, but that was over multiple months. The most in 1 month from all the views on my channel is 15K.
So
Yeah.
just one video. How long was it?
It was like 13 minutes. It was called "How to Invest for Teenagers." Is my most
What a
earning
hot
video.
topic, bro. What?
Yeah.
I should
Yes.
make that
That
content.
would be good. That would be a good video for you to do. Yes.
Wow. And
Yeah.
you made 30 grand off one video.
Yes.
How long was the
AdSense.
video? Do you remember offhand?
It was like 13 minutes long.
Okay. I want you to know some people make 30,000 a year.
I know.
Do you know that? And they have kids.
Yeah.
They have kids, bro.
I know.
And they're trying to raise a family. You made it in
Yeah.
13 minutes.
Literally.
And you weren't even 23. You're probably 19
I
or
was like
20.
19. Yeah.
Can you fucking imagine that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. Right? It's 30,000 on one video, 13 minutes.
Yep.
It breaks my heart almost. I mean, because
Yeah.
you think of people suffering out there and they're stuck in this rut and they don't know what to do.
Hmm.
And, you figured it out without,
Yeah.
you're not a rocket scientist. You know what I mean? You're just aware. So,
Yeah.
you're really, you're known for a channel about side hustles, but the greatest side hustle has been YouTube.
Literally. Yes, it has. Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
talk
It's
about
really
that.
great.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I loved about your stuff is that, they talk about authenticity. That's what people want. They don't want this bullshit where you're filming these side hustles and you're making millions of dollars and you're bragging about it and you're driving away in your Lamborghini and it's all bullshit. They want authentic. You made something about vending machines. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I had two vending machine locations. I'm down to one, but I had two. Pretty much I did a video with this guy. He has a vending machine route with like probably about 50 machines at this point, and
Wow.
he's making like a quarter million in revenue a year from just having vending machines at, apartment complexes, hotels,
Oh
different
yeah.
locations. And I shadowed him. I looked at his business and I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. So I started cold calling a bunch of places, trying to get a location. Turns out I knew someone in Milwaukee who knew someone else who owns an apartment complex. And that's where I got my first machine. So I spent 3,500 bucks, got a combo machine in the apartment complex, filled it up with snacks and drinks I bought from Sam's Club, and it was making like $500-600 a month in sales, which is probably around like 300 in profit.
Okay.
I ran that location for about a year, and then I sold it for $4,000. So I made profit. I ended up selling that location for 4 grand, and I used that money to buy a cheap Turo car. But I'm kind of getting out of vending and doing more Turo stuff. But yeah, it's just it's a good like passive business because you go there once a week, you pull out the cash from the machine, restock the snacks, and you can probably make like about 40-50 bucks an hour if you're lucky. It's a good side hustle.
But you also were posting, that it was failing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it depends. There's
I
yeah,
love that because that's
yeah,
real. Not
yeah,
everything it does. It's not
yeah,
easy.
yeah.
Business is
I
hard.
definitely, yes.
You
And
gotta. Every failure brings you closer to a success, but that you shared it, I love that.
hmm
It's like
yeah,
you were stressed out.
yeah, the main problem with it, honestly, was just like the money I was putting into it, and like everything was just like the return wasn't as good as like some other things that I was doing. Like the Turo was a way better return than what I was making off vending. And also like one of the machines, like, whenever there's a problem, you got to go over there. Oh, the dollar's jamming. And it's just like you're basically like a service person at a certain level.
You
It's like you're
you
taking
are.
service calls to like fix a machine. And I mean, it can be passive. But yeah, the vending thing I decided to kind of get out of, but someone else showed me a different side of vending because there's a lot of different machines you can get. There's like the snack machines, but he was selling vapes and like Zins in like nightclubs. So he was putting machines in like bars or like 21 plus places and selling these vapes that he bought from China for like $8, selling them for $25 a unit. And it's just like a lot higher margin. Obviously, you're making like $16 a sale. And he ended up scaling a route up to like 90 different machines that make like 95 grand a month.
I
So
was gonna say
that's something I was
it's
like,
it's
oh,
sometimes it's the products you sell in the location.
mhm.
I can't imagine selling vapes in a nightclub.
Yeah,
Everybody's drinking. Everybody wants a vape.
yeah,
Everybody. I mean, really, it's
yeah,
grown up. Guys, people my age don't really understand all that. But
yeah.
I'm a little bit different than the
Well, just
average.
like probably back in the day, people used to smoke
Are you
cigarettes when
kidding?
they drank. Yeah, exactly.
You
It's the
can't
same thing.
imagine you selling
Yeah.
cigarettes for at the time they were 25 cents. You can sell them for $5. It
hmm
cost a quarter.
Wow.
Now just to buy them in the store is $10.
Yeah.
They made cigarettes evil, but and
Yeah.
vaping is probably worse. But
Probably.
I'm good. Every young person I know is vaping. I was in prison, and everybody it's not legal in there. They would
And
sneak them
everybody.
in, and the guy that would sell the vapes in the unit was making big money,
Yeah.
thousands, because you're paying 50, $100 for a vape that costs like $10,
hmm
$8. They had to smuggle it into prison, all that,
Yeah.
and lay out
There's
the money.
definitely an
But
uptick there.
the money, because you could vape in prison. There's no smoke all over the place. There's no fire, like that. I mean, you know what I
hmm
mean?
Yeah, and
Crazy.
people
I
are
mean,
probably bored.
I can't imagine selling that in a nightclub. That's
Yeah.
business. They had vending machines in the prison visiting room, and they would sell everything. They would sell chickens, whole chickens. And it was the best food on the compound. Trust me.
Really?
Yeah. In prison, the food's very bad. It's very low level. It's just some of it's not even fit for human consumption. They buy it local prison. They buy it. It's all expired food. I mean, it's really really murder what they get away with, and they're killing people. And
Yeah.
this is part of that whole criminal justice system, the injustice system. But they used to come and have to fill up those vending machines a few times a week, and the prices were ridiculous. Like a thing of Mike and Ike's would be like $8.
Damn.
You
They're
know what I'm
taxing.
saying? Like that. That's what you got to. But you're putting in tens and twenties,
Yep.
and you're getting candy that you were selling for $1 and
Yep.
making money. But again, we used to all talk about that hustle. Just if you just own those vending machines, had to be like the brother-in-law of the warden or something. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
If somebody had that connectivity, you're making coin, man.
Hmm.
So now you're known for crypto. I mean,
Yep.
you tell us. You asked me about Bitcoin. I believe that XRP is going to go nuts. I think that's going to be a system that evolves and cross border stuff. And Bitcoin is, of course, the gold standard. It's the Nvidia of crypto. It has no top because it's got a limited supply. I think Ethereum is going to be, because of the blockchain technology, et cetera, is going to be more universally deployed. But tell us how you got into it and what you think. I'm curious.
Yeah, so I first heard about, or I guess I heard about Bitcoin way earlier, but I first bought Bitcoin when it was at $15,000 a coin. I made a YouTube video in November of 2020 where I mined Bitcoin on my computer for a week. So it was like a desktop computer. I lived at my parents' house back then, and I tried just mining it on like a desktop computer, showing how much I made. And I also bought $1,000 of Bitcoin when it was $15,000 a coin. People really liked that video. I didn't make much because obviously on a desktop, not very powerful, but I made like $8 mining Bitcoin. I was showing, you could make money mining Bitcoin, but you need an actual machine if you want to make a lot. So after that video did pretty well, I met this guy. I found him on TikTok actually, and he had a whole data center filled with a ton of different like Bitcoin miners, ant miners, and I talked to him about his journey, and it turns out he bought Bitcoin for the first time in 2013 when he was in high school. He bought Bitcoin when it was $70 each, and he bought 20 Bitcoin. He ended up
Wow.
obviously holding a lot of that crypto, and it kind of exploded over time. And while he was in college, he got into Bitcoin mining. So he used some of the proceeds he made from Bitcoin going up in price to open his first data center. So he collaborated with like another company. He got like a data center open. And then like a year or two later, he opened his own facility where he owned the whole thing. And he bought like an acre plot of land in Iowa, and it
Yeah.
was on a wind farm, so it has cheaper electricity costs. And he just filled the whole thing up with Bitcoin miners. He took out $1 million loan to buy a bunch of machines. He hosted some other people's machines. And after I saw the facility, I decided to buy 2 miners myself to store there. And around this time, Bitcoin was probably like 25, 30 grand a coin. And over the period, I mined Bitcoin. I paid the electricity costs. I bought Bitcoin, and at this point, I've got like a little over 1 Bitcoin. So like it's definitely been
Wow.
it's
Okay.
good. Yes. So
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. So you
yeah.
got some equity now.
Yes. So yeah, I've been doing it. Not all of it is from the mining. Probably about like half of the Bitcoin is from mining, but the other is just like dollar cost averaging. And the good thing about mining is you're basically like buying Bitcoin at a discount. So in a month I can mine like $500 of Bitcoin and my electricity costs are 300. So you're basically like, getting Bitcoin at like 40% off. Yeah.
Literally. I mean, it's
Yes.
pretty much the it needs so much power.
Yeah.
A data center today. I mean, from
Yeah.
what my friends are telling me, it's eating up electricity like people don't understand.
Yeah.
We don't have even
There's
close to enough in this country.
they're trying to
Elon
build
Musk
a lot.
complains about it.
Yeah. They're trying to build a lot of data centers where I live too, because I think like, in Wisconsin, there's
Right.
like, cheaper electricity costs and stuff.
Correct.
And I'm just thinking like, I want it away from my house, but data centers are cool, but I just don't want to have it near me
They eat
because
up power, and the prices
yeah,
are going to go up. I mean,
yeah,
but there are
yeah.
ways to take advantage of all these different things. And
Mhm.
I my team said that you were very young and you started reselling Apple products,
Yeah.
drop
That was
shipping. Talk about this. This is,
yeah.
this is. I'm
I've done a
fascinated.
I've done a lot of different things, but actually one of the best side hustles I ever had in high school, like while I was doing YouTube or even before that, I scaled it up to like, making a couple thousand a month. I would post ads on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace saying, I'll pay cash for your old phone or Apple product. Anything that you have, I'll buy and give you a cash offer for. I made a spreadsheet for like every single model of phone, every single model of iPad, iPod, by just going on eBay sold listings, seeing what it's selling for, and then taking like $50 or $100 less off that so I know I could resell it for a profit. So I would make a spreadsheet of what I'll pay for everything, and I would buy stuff, go meet up with people. I didn't even have a car in the early days. So like I would either
So
pay
great.
someone from my high school to drive me. I'd pay them like $20, or I'd get my parents to drive me, and I would meet up with these people, or I'd ride my bike, honestly. And I'd meet up with these people, buy the phone, get it listed on eBay. And honestly, it probably got up to a point when I was like a sophomore, junior in high school. I was making like $5,000 a month in sales, like selling Apple products, $1 to $2 grand profit, since the margins are not amazing, but it was a great side hustle. And I still make videos about it to this day because people are always like, what's a good way to make money? And I'll just run that back, and every single time, without fail, it works. It's a great side hustle, timeless.
I believe that. It's
Yeah.
but you've clearly graduated to sort of more lucrative.
Yeah.
And as you advance in the world of business, etc., this will. I see the journey you're on. I get it, and it's like a trajectory is really what I have to use if I had to pick one word. And you're on this. If you look at a graph, this trajectory like this. So you've done these things, you've experienced them, you understand the game of that hustle, and you say, you know what, at this point I could better use my resources, my time, my talent, and you move on to another more lucrative hustle. That's fair to say.
Yes.
Am I getting it?
Because there's a lot of good hustles out there, but like if you're putting a lot of time in, it's like, what's the hourly rate really? So like you got to find the stuff that's like, you only got so much time. You got to find the stuff that's like best to scale up, in my opinion. So like that's something I'm trying to work on now, is like, instead of doing like 20 different things, like maybe focusing on a couple and just like really scaling them up. Like with Turo, the goal right now is I want to get to 10 cars. Then I can maybe hire a detailer to help clean in between rentals, so I don't have to be doing all that all the time.
Right. I'll just give you an old guy's view. So, I like you, I have an appetite for the bigger, better things in life. And, so I look at the field, I look at the world through, my lens. And the stock market was always number one, because you can have no money and you can become super wealthy. You could literally, the only common denominator that every single member of the Forbes 400 has, if you examine, is share capital. You can't get that kind of wealth any other way. Share capital. They have stock in something, it goes way high, they have a big position, and bam, now they're super wealthy. But I did see that same virality factor in social media. I see what the Tate brothers did, right? The Paul brothers did. Patrick Bet-David 3 years ago was nowhere. He was nobody.
I remember
no
him back then.
Even
Valuetainment. Yes.
Yeah, 3-4 years ago, they was nobody, nothing.
Yeah.
Now he was in the insurance business. He sold his company for $300 million. And he was very talented at that. But when he got into this business that sort of we're in, the content creation business, he was a nobody, nowhere. Now he's one of the top deliverers of news content in the whole world. He's the head of CBS, ABC. I mean, it's crazy.
Wow.
Think about that. People can go to him, go to Valuetainment for their news. It's now a source, a major source. 3 years ago, who is this guy? I mean, if Valuetainment was nowhere. Now, one of the things that I'm interested to you to take in is the edgy stuff, the darker side, the dark web. I have friends. It's like tales from the dark web. They're talking, and all of a sudden there's 6 guys, and we're all like, "Wow, what the fuck? Tell us about the dark web."
Yeah. So, I don't know, but I first started making videos about the dark web like a year or two ago. I got kind of interested in it because I saw some people doing videos about like credit card fraud.
Yeah.
Now, this is something I obviously see as unethical, but I saw myself as like the journalist of the situation. Like I want to learn about it. So I did a video where I kind of go on the dark web, check out some websites, and I tried my best to like find some really legit sites. And I ordered some stuff that actually came in. Like I bought fake money, and it actually came in from the dark web. I destroyed it on camera, but yes. So like I bought these like fake $20 bills, and they actually shipped me them. They were like actually decent. Like you could kind of feel them and tell that they were fake. But like people really liked that. Like, they were like, oh, you could buy money off the dark web. Like that's crazy. So I did a video about that. And I ended up having someone reach out to me off of that video, and they were like, "Hey, I do like credit card fraud for a living," and they lived in Canada. So I ended up driving out with a buddy of mine to Canada and just filming a video with him where he like did it live on camera. Like he got a pizza from Domino's using like someone else's card, and like we filmed like a whole like video about like him doing credit card fraud like for the video, and it ended up doing really well. Yeah.
Some of your edgy stuff, I think, got you some real.
Yeah. Like just people love that kind of like sketchy side hustle stuff.
They
And
do.
yeah.
Every time I'm out, people want to ask me. They ask me about prison. They want to
Yeah.
know, like, did you ever see anybody get raped?
Mhm.
Did you take a shower? Did you bend over for soap? Did you get into any fights? People are fascinated with sort of the edgy, dark side of
Illegal
things.
ways of making money. Yeah.
Yeah, just the darker side of life, really, is especially
Mhm.
if you live you're a solid citizen and you live above board sort of white shoe type life.
Yeah.
But it's human nature to be very interested in stuff that you're not exposed to. And on TV and the movies, they dramatize it. It's so dramatic,
Yeah.
the bad guys, think about Scarface, Tony
Yes.
Montana. I mean, it's fascinating, right? And people have been
Yeah.
obsessed with the mafia and these cartels but the dark web, I think, is really fascinating because
Yeah.
it's real.
Yeah.
I was locked
Like,
up with guys that, they made their money on the dark web, supplying drugs,
yeah.
fake ID, but legit, like you say, credit card numbers, social security numbers, identification for crazy ass shit. They sell people on the dark web,
Mhm.
babies, women, body parts. That's all true.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, and there's like, like so many people's like information has been like with like this new age of technology. It's so much more common to get like your identity stolen, your credit card number stolen, and a lot of that info people can there's websites. Some guy showed me there's websites where you can just search up someone's name, like even a specific person's name, and it'll pop up any credit card accounts or anything that you can buy information from, or you can look up a specific area and it'll just pull up a bunch of card numbers that you can purchase and use. Like I did a video with this guy and he bought a $900 phone like using someone's card info like live in front of me.
What?
It was
Really?
ridiculous. Yes. Yeah. They just have to know how to set up like proxies and like VPN. It's a bunch of techie stuff.
Right.
But yeah, the guy like did it and like people make money off of it, but I mean obviously you can get caught, but I think a lot of people maybe don't originally.
Well,
Yeah.
for your purposes,
Mhm.
your biggest side hustle, in my opinion, is your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So that's great content.
Yeah. No, for me, yes.
You don't have to commit crime,
Exactly.
but you can talk about it and show it and expose it because it's real,
Yeah.
right? No joke. This shit's going on every day, and it's great content. I'm guessing you probably get, a huge reaction, more engagement, right? When it's like, how do you title your stuff? I'm curious.
I always think of the title before I post, so I'll try to think of
100%.
like a good title, and I'll like even look at like other videos that did well. So like, I guess like one of the dark web videos that did well is like testing illegal dark web money hacks is like a video I did where like we're testing like illegal ways to make money on the dark web. Or I did a video with
That's a great title, by the way. That's a great title.
yeah, or I did a video inside a teen's credit card fraud empire.
I
So,
love
like,
that.
yeah.
That's the kind of thing I would click on because it's
Yeah.
what do they call that, clickbait, that kind of thing. But
Yeah,
you just
exactly.
need good titles. You're in show business.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You're an entertainer.
Yeah.
You're in show business, bro.
Yeah, my videos are probably more entertainment. Like people get value out of them. Maybe not the dark web videos, but like on average they get value. But it's more entertainment than
It's
value.
all
I'd say.
entertainment.
You got to entertain them.
What you're
Yeah.
revealing is secondary.
Yep.
I have a team, and I always try to say, listen, you think it's all about the subject, the facts, the figures, et cetera. It's not.
Mhm.
People are not entertained. They tune right out. I
Yep.
mean, there's so many things going on. Just my phone. I'm getting bombarded every minute with something every minute from
Yep.
every different platform. And so you want to have that. You got to really title it, brand it, bring people in, and they stay in because it's interesting. You're really entertaining people. The second you lose sight of that, you start to slip backwards. I believe that's the one most important thing. And you're like you're the CEO of your own network. They're paying you over 100 grand a year to do it. And then you're also doing your own little hustles on top of that, right? Trying to, whether it's the vending machines. I'm fascinated how you found these Bitcoin miners and data center guy, and you actually have a position in Bitcoin, which I think is amazing. By the time
Yeah,
you're 30, it'll be $1 million.
that'd be sweet. That's the goal.
Right. The problem is by that time, $1 million will be
It's not.
like 30,000.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
I was.
just saying.
It's funny because I mean, you even hear like my grandpa, for example. He's like back then, like to have $1 million to retire with $1 million, like you're chilling, like
Right.
no big deal.
You're a
When
beast.
it's like my dad's age, it's probably like 3 million. Now it's my age, it's gonna be like 10 million because we've been off the. I think a big problem is we've been off like the gold standard. Like that's kind of destroyed our like
Yep.
monetary value
Jerry
for
Ford,
money.
1973. I
Yeah,
get it. Our money
yeah.
is backed by the full faith and power of the United States government to levy
Mm-hmm.
taxes on its citizens,
Yes.
but it's not tied to anything material anymore. And the politicians have been scamming now at incredible rates. And with guys like you and me and connectivity and all these beautiful platforms, people can't be fooled anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they elected Trump, because he's exposed a lot of stuff. We all
Yeah.
watched on national television. They tried to kill him. They tried to take his company away. They tried to put him in jail. What? Like
Can't stop.
the facade was gone now. They're like, yeah, well, let me show you. We're going to show you if you fuck with us. We're the powers that be, the deep state, let's call it. You want to start? Watch what we do to this guy. And I think they were shocked that Trump won. I think they were shocked.
Yeah.
Biden, his old fucking guy, doesn't know what date it is. Just throw him in front of the camera. America's so stupid. Nobody will notice. All right, let's get in. Kamala Harris. She can't complete one sentence.
No. Yeah,
She
never.
cannot make a full one sentence. She can't complete without saying something. I mean, they couldn't find a better candidate. I was shocked. The facade was gone. And thank God, I thank God every day where we're at today. That's a question I wanted to ask you. Do you believe in God? Are you religious, spiritual, anything like that? I'm just curious.
Yeah. I went to a Catholic school growing up, so like I grew up Catholic, and I believe in God. Yeah.
Okay, that's all. I just want to make sure. It's an interest. It's a touchy subject online.
Yeah.
Some people right away. You mention God. That's it. That's it. I'm out. So you have to be like, well, a
Yeah. You gotta
power
make sure.
greater. I mean, it's interesting, right? If
Yeah.
you're appealing to people. But I agree with you. At some point, engagement becomes much more important than just the number of people that subscribe, follow, etc. To me,
Yeah.
you know,
In my opinion, once you got the plaque, once you have 100K, I mean, a million's always a big goal.
oh
But if you
yeah,
have 100K, you don't have to care for a little bit because like that's a big number,
right.
and a million's a pretty far away from that. So that's like a big milestone for me. And then once I got to 100K, I cared more about engagement.
Yeah, for me, I got 100,000 on Instagram.
Yeah.
Nobody was more surprised than me.
Hell yeah.
It was a goal. You know what I mean?
Do you do shorts as well on YouTube?
I'm just really starting. Yeah, yeah. We do
Okay,
shorts.
that'll help.
Yeah, we're gonna have shorts with you. Well, we take shorts. We're gonna clip them from we take them from
So
the long form. We'll
sweet.
do 3 shorts on this podcast, and
Awesome.
I'll get your information. We're gonna ask you to collaborate,
Yep.
and this way we both get
Content.
access and this and that, and you just never know.
Yeah.
I did a clip. I swear to you, I did it at my house on an iPhone 11 by myself. 1 minute clip, over 3 million views, still going, and over 34,000 new followers. I check every morning. Oh my god, another 65 followers, another 200, and at one point it was just going like
Yeah.
it was like
Exploding.
a pinball machine when
Yeah.
a slot machine in Vegas where you just saw the. Now, 23 years old, so you never married, you have no children, but you own a home. That's big. And do you travel much? I know you said you went to Austin.
I lived in Austin for about a year.
Okay.
I travel, yeah, for videos. I like to go places to meet up with other people I want to collab with.
Right.
Like I just went to Nebraska, did a video with the guy who did The vape vending machines. I'm wearing a
That's
Nebraska
it. I
shirt.
asked. I said at the
Yeah.
beginning. I said, "What's with this Nebraska
Um,
Cornhusker shirt?"
yeah, and I do videos kind of, anywhere that's like a good content to film. I'll definitely travel. Yeah.
And so you're in the process of building wealth. That's fair to say?
Yes. Yeah.
Expanding your little empire.
Yes.
And where are you physically? You're in Milwaukee right now, or
Yep. Milwaukee.
are
Yep.
you in that house that you bought, or are you at an
Yes.
office? Okay, good. A lot of people can learn from you, bro. I want you to know that you're a powerful example. I know a lot of
Thank you.
kids. My daughter, because I have two daughters. We're in Boca Raton, 25 and 22. My youngest, she got out of University of Florida, which is a top school, in 3 years. Magna cum laude. Amazing.
Hell yeah.
4-year
That's great.
degree in 3 years. And I said, what are you going to do? You going to go to work? You want to go to work? You want to get a job? Like her sister's a technology recruiter.
Okay.
She makes real money, and she gets to work from home. And that's why one of the things I love about being an influencer, an educator, a podcaster, is that it's very convenient. Although I do have studios here, and I'm in Delray, I have a studio in Dania, I live in Boca. But, the kids I see are getting out of college, and now they're trying to figure out what to do, to get a job, to work for somebody, to be told, this is your salary. Here's what you're going to do. You need more money? Oh, get back to us in 3 months, 6 months, a year. And you took control of your own life, bro.
Yeah. No, I definitely always wanted to like have my own business. Like I didn't really want to work for anyone else because like I remember I was when I was like younger, I was trying to figure out like the richest people. Like none of them really like work for anyone else. You kind of have to own a business if you want to be like to have the best chance of being a millionaire. You want to own your own business.
But I mean, you're a powerful example.
Yeah.
I want to say, look, here's the
Thank you.
amazing thing. I don't know if you see it this way, but from an older guy to a younger guy, 30, you know, there's no barrier to entry. Right now, almost every single phone has a camera.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of these platforms is free. So if you have a cell phone with a camera, you could be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. Right? You have the ability to do all these things. And meanwhile,
100%.
a bunch of guys your age now, just getting out of college, they probably went to University of Wisconsin, and they're like interviewing for jobs. And you're making probably what, 200,000 a year between all your things?
Yeah, around that. Like last year, I think I made like 160K, which is
Okay,
pretty
be
good.
careful. The IRS might be listening one day.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. I tell people on my videos, so like maybe I shouldn't talk about it
no, it's good
exactly.
to be
But
it's good to be transparent. Believe it or
yeah,
not, because when you're
yeah,
transparent, they don't look.
yeah,
They're lazy. People are very lazy.
yeah.
The guys that take those jobs, they just want to, punch a clock, go home. But
Oh yeah.
so you are 23. You're making six figures, and you have your own business. You don't want to work today? Fuck it, I'm not working. You want to travel? Cool. I'll do some great content in Las Vegas, in New York, in Miami. You know what I mean? You could see the world, and it's a business expense, by the way.
Yeah.
I hope you have good tax guys. Good. That's very important. The tax guy, very important,
Yeah.
because he's going to be giving you money. It's amazing how important that is. It pays for itself 5
Yeah.
times over. Most of them are just hacks. I'm just saying. No, a hack in my world is different than a hack in your world. A hack in my world is a guy that just punches a clock and does his best performance is when he gets you as a customer. You know what I mean? And then he has you as a customer and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So just a tax guy. There's nobody like a good tax guy. Because those are the only people you really don't want to get in trouble with.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think 23 years old. I mean, do you go out at night? Do you have a life, a social life?
Yeah, I mean on the weekends maybe I'll go out once in a while, but honestly I don't I should probably do more, but I don't do too much. Yeah. I stay at home a lot.
What do you like to do at home?
uh I mean I got a dog, go for walks, work on videos and stuff. I have a roommate, we'll hang out, watch movies. Yeah, got some friends. Yeah.
You're not a big drinker?
When I was, it's funny. I probably went out more often before I was 21 than after.
I
Like
get
when
it.
I lived in Austin, they had more of like a outdoor, like, like bar scene. Whereas in Milwaukee, like they have it, but it's not like as fun, I'd say. So I don't really go out as much anymore,
Do you work
but
out in
it's
the
a good
gym at
time.
all, or do
I don't know.
you exercise?
Yeah.
Not really.
Walks with the dog.
Okay. All right. So listen, your focus is right now on building your net worth,
Hmm.
right? That's fair to say.
Yeah.
I mean, what does your dad do, if you don't mind me asking?
He is an accountant.
Oh, so you got good tax advice.
Yeah,
Is
he's not a tax accountant. He does treasury, but yes,
okay. He gets,
yeah.
he
He
gets,
understands that
he
stuff.
gets
Yeah.
it. I mean, are you making more money than your dad yet?
Close, similar.
You hear what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
And what does your
Yeah.
mom do?
She's a nurse.
You make much more money than she does.
Yeah.
Are they? What's it like? When they started seeing
Yeah.
this.
I remember they were in high school, they were always, proud of me and stuff. And I remember they weren't happy when I didn't go to college, but they've been really supportive since then. Like they definitely wanted me to like go to college and do YouTube on the side. Because when I was younger, I wanted to work on Wall Street. That was like a big goal of mine when I was younger. I wanted to be like
You're
you.
still
I
young.
wanted to be,
You
yeah,
can
yeah,
still do
exactly. Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe I'll do that one day. But that was like my big goal. So I was going to go to college, maybe be a stockbroker, do YouTube,
You don't have to
and
go
then
to
I kind of
college to be a stockbroker. I just want you
you
to know
don't
that.
know.
You don't.
Oh,
You just got to get hired by a firm, and I think any local firm would hire you if you told them your true story, because they're going to say that you're the
yeah,
exact guy we want,
yeah.
and they would say, "Can you pass a test?" So that you take a course, and it's $1,000, whatever it is. It's nothing, and you study for the Series 7. You have to be sponsored. That's the catch.
Hmm.
So somebody has to sponsor you. They have to agree to, hang your license, hire you. But I think that knowledge for you would be it's undefinable. I mean, you would be a star once you understood the game. It's a game like everything else. It's a racket, just like being an influencer. But the point I made before is there's no barrier to entry. Like, how do you explain the fact that William Nazarkewich from a small town in Wisconsin decided to do this, and there's hundreds of thousands of young kids your age living at home, dead broke, working in McDonald's, working, these minor jobs, pounding the pavement looking for jobs, still in college, on their parents' nipple. How do you explain that?
I don't know.
What's different about you? I mean,
I always
explain.
wanted independence, I think. I think that's the big thing is like I wanted to make my own money and not have anyone tell me what to do. And the easiest way to achieve independence is to make your own money. Because if you make your own money, you can do what you want and no one can tell you what you have to be doing with your time. So
Financial
that's kind
freedom.
of like that was like my goal of making money. I wanted to make money so that I could have freedom. And I think maybe some people just feel more comfortable in the situation that they're in, that they aren't motivated to make money. Because if you're really motivated, you're going to figure out a way, I feel like.
But you understand what I mean about there's no
Yeah.
barrier. You just need a
No,
phone.
you just do it. Yeah.
So to me, I'm trying to understand like what made you do it and other people not. What
I don't know.
separates you from the wolf? You're the financial wolf, I guess.
I don't
You
know. I
don't look like
remember
a wolf.
in the early days, people would always like hate on me for making videos. Like when you're in school and stuff, people like used to think YouTube was lame and like, especially if you don't have a lot of subscribers. I think a lot of
Really?
people I have fear of being judged. And you kind of have to get past that if you want to be like on social media. You have to get past people like, hating on you for making videos or like laughing at stuff you do. Because as soon as it starts working, it's cool to them. That's
Of
just how
course,
it
that's
is.
a different. Same thing.
Yeah.
Listen, imagine me, 68 years old. I
Yeah.
tell everybody I'm going to be a social media influencer. They laughed at me. People laughed
Yeah.
at me. I have respect because of what I've been able to accomplish over the course of my life in business, stock market, etc. But they still laughed at me. I know they did, behind my back, etc. They rolled their eyes. My kids begged me not to do it. They said I'm an
Right.
embarrassment.
And you have such a famous story too. Like it just makes sense, I
They
feel like.
unfollowed me, my kids.
Really?
Originally, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And now, everybody follows me, and all their boyfriends follow me, and family, friends, and all that kind of thing. And they're all, what's going to happen next? I said, next, I'm going to speak to the wolf. the financial wolf, the wolf of Wisconsin.
Yes.
And we're going to chop it up, and I'm going to learn something because I just take my hat off to you, bro. I really do. I mean that.
Thank you.
Before we just wrap up and say goodbye, I want to ask you. You're 23, right? We've established that. What can we expect from you in the next 7 years? I'm talking about by the time you're 30. I'm interested to know what can we expect from the Wolf of Wisconsin.
Well, that'll be interesting, but I guess my plan right now is I want to focus on, growing the hustles I have. I want to get to 10 or 20 cars in my Turo rental business. And I also want to do more real estate stuff. So this house is about 2 miles from the airport. So the plan is once I move out of here, I'm going to turn it into an Airbnb for people like staying by the airport, make it like an airport themed Airbnb, and do like a little bit of short-term rental stuff, do Turo rentals as well, and then just keep making content. So maybe by the time I'm 30, I'll have, 3 or 4 Airbnbs or rental houses and 20 cars on Turo, and making YouTube videos about like interesting side hustles, hopefully getting hella views. That's the goal.
I believe that's a very, very humble stuff. I believe you'll be there by the time you're about 25. 30, I expect much bigger things from you, Will. I really do. But I love your humility. I love it. I love that humility. And don't be satisfied. Keep climbing.
Yeah.
You understand? It's a big world out there.
No, definitely.
You're going to get to 100,000 a month and then 100,000 a week. Then you can take your first deep breath. You understand? I just want to tell you, it was a real privilege to meet you today.
Same here. I really appreciate you doing this. It's great to meet you too.
I'm stoked. It was really, really great. You're really special, and I'm expecting big things from you, bro. Big thing. I mean, you're so humble, and you learn about the stock market. It's going to change your life, your net worth, everything about you is going to change. That's what you've been looking for your whole life without knowing it. And I'm telling you from experience. I was you once. And it's a big world out there. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
I'll speak to you soon.
Great.